Welcome to another episode of the Thumb Strong podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the one word that is going to define your 2026. So we're approaching January 1st. New year, new you, New Year's resolutions. That's going to be in the air. Everybody's going to be talking about what they're going to be doing to succeed or improve themselves as they kick off the new year. And what we want to do is encourage you guys to, instead of setting a resolution, to pick a word that will define your year. And so we're going to kind of go into why we would do this and provide some examples. We're going to talk about our word that we chose and why we chose it and how we're going to use it every day, every week throughout the year to help us achieve our goal or just live a healthier, happier lifestyle, whatever you want to try to achieve this year to help you actually succeed. So, first, Bethany,
yes.
Why are we choosing a word instead of creating a resolution?
So, choosing a word rather than just doing a resolution is important because if you focus on a resolution or make a resolution, you're then focusing on the outcome or the result of that. And you're spending the whole year chasing that, and it creates a little bit of friction in the present when you're not currently there where you want to be. And that can dampen motivation, which is usually what we see for people, is they lose motivation by, February or March or something like that. And then that's when New Year's resolutions get fallen off of. Why we choose a word is because that's character-based, it's identity-based. It's something that you can constantly remind yourself of, and then in every interaction that you have or everything that you do, you can use that word intentionally and use that to essentially change your identity, change how you view yourself, and then that leads to other good things, other goals. And it's an easy thing to do, just one word. If you just focus on that as like your North Star, that's like your guiding principle for the year.
Yeah.
Like, what's the theme of the year going to be?
Yeah.
And then that's your North Star that guides pretty much every decision that you make.
Yeah, your word influences your behavior. So, for example, when you identify as someone who is consistent, disciplined, intentional, your choices and your behaviors start to naturally align with that automatically. So it kind of removes like the willpower battles that you have every single day of trying to do what you need to do, right? Because if your word is disciplined and you have, obviously, maybe you have some health and fitness goals or something, and so your word is, I want to be disciplined this year. And so if you were staying up late and having a bowl of ice cream every night, then you're probably going to think to yourself, okay, would a disciplined person do this? No. Okay, I'm going to change my behavior, go to bed earlier and not have the ice cream or whatever it is, right? So it'll help you make those choices a lot easier and change your behaviors. So we kind of want to go into some examples of some powerful words over the next a few minutes here. I kind of narrowed it down. There's actually 26 because I added mine in here, but there's a top 25 list of words, Thumb Strong edition. So it's kind of in relation to what most people would choose if they had some sort of health and fitness related goal. It could be success. It doesn't have to be health and fitness, but so some popular ones would be, consistency. So it's showing up even when motivation is low. So maybe your word is consistency. So no matter what happens in life, when you're busy, stressed, low energy, you're still gonna show up. So it's being consistent. Strength. So physical, mental, and emotional resilience. Intentional. This is another good one. So choosing actions on purpose, not by default. So being intentional with all your daily choices and decisions. Discipline, doing what needs to be done regardless of your mood. That's a huge one. Confidence, trusting yourself with your decisions. Growth, becoming better than yesterday, one step at a time. A popular kind of quote that we say a lot in the gym is become 1% better every day. Just a little bit, what do you need to do every day to just get a little bit better? And then by the end of the year, you've accumulated, and that growth has exponentially compounded, right? Another one, balance. So progress without burnout. So we talk a lot. That reminds me a little bit about like our 80-20. It's how can we live a healthy lifestyle and do what we need to do while also enjoying life and not burning out, not being a perfectionist. It's not about going from 0 to 100. It's like, hey, let's turn that dial to a 7 or an 8. Right. Health, energy, longevity, and quality of life. Energy, fueling your body and life well. So fueling your body and your life. Resilient. This is another one I really like. So bouncing back when things don't go as planned. Committed, staying the course when it gets hard. Focused, eliminating distractions and doing what matters. And then Bethany, I'll let you do the last half, other than number 26.
Yeah. Next one is calm, finding your calm state, your zen. Leading yourself through stress with control is the goal of being calm, calm in stressful situations. Number 14, courage, acting despite fear or uncertainty. Number 15 is capable, believing your body and mind can handle challenges. Sustainable is number 16, building habits that you can maintain long term. And that's good if you are somebody who struggles with the balance or having sustainable goals, and that could be a good goal for you. 17 is present, being where your feet are. 18 is prepared, so planning ahead to reduce friction and excuses. And then number 19 is accountable, so owning your actions and outcomes. Number 20 is progress, so focusing on forward motion over perfection. Number 21 is confident, showing up without apology, so intentionally repeated in the meaning often. It's different than like confidence. It's just feeling more confident in yourself and what you're doing and your choices, like more assurance of yourself.
Yep.
So number 22 is patient, trusting the process and timeline. Number 23 is aligned, living in accordance with your values. 24 is grateful, appreciating progress instead of chasing more, appreciating what you already have instead of what you don't.
It's a good one.
That is a good one. Makes me want to choose that one, but I already chose one. And then number 25 is unstoppable, refusing to quit on yourself.
Perfect. Do you want to share our words last after we go through the strategy, or do you want to do it right now?
Yours. You
want to share it right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So my word for the year that I chose is persistence, which means continuing to show up, adjust, and try again when results are delayed, plans change, or when life gets hard. So I love this word because there's always going to be times where it gets challenging. You're going to run into obstacles. You're going to run into setbacks, not necessarily failures. You learn from failures, and that's why they become setbacks. But it's always just continuing to put in the work and show up. In all areas of my life, I want to be persistent. So that's why I chose that word. And so if I remind myself of that, hopefully it'll help me stay on tasks and achieve my goals next year.
Yeah.
What's your word?
My word is regimented. And I chose this word because I want to focus on deciding simple systems for things like money, like budgets, things like that. Simple systems for like food, just being very regimented in the schedule and the routines. Having a set, like having other like reading routine and having that built in, having a regiment. And then that way I can rely on the systems to carry me through rather than just like, because I was going to go with discipline at first, which is also good and kind of fits in with that. But, discipline works sometimes, like motivation, and then it goes discipline, and then it just goes to your systems and your habits.
Yep.
So if I focus on the habits, then I won't need to use the discipline and the motivation.
Yeah. The regimen will kind of eliminate that willpower and stuff. It's just
the need for that.
Yeah. It just keeps you on task and eliminates like the stress about, okay, what do I need to do? When do I need to do it? Etc. So if you create a regimen, schedule things out,
just execute.
Execute. Yep. That's all you got to worry about. Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. So next we can kind of go into like, how do you choose your word? So what area of your life matters most in 2026? How do you want to feel this year? What do you want people to say about you at the end of the year? What would your best self choose as a theme? And what word challenges you but excites you? There's no right word, only the one that feels honest. And a tip here would be, um, which word when you read it makes you kind of pause, makes you think about it, right? So when I was like reading through the list, there were certain ones you're like, oh, that one was good. You know what I mean? It kind of sticks out to you when you hear it or when you read it.
Yeah.
So, and you might have a word that's not on this list. There's literally thousands of different, words that you can choose from, and you can just Google them or, read through this list. I'll post it in the post. But find your word, and then what you want to do is apply that word every day. So, Bethany, how can we apply this to our everyday life next year to help us achieve our goal?
So some practical ways you can apply this. You define daily behaviors that you can do that align with your word. So I'll use grateful as an example because that was one that stuck out to me, but not the one that I'm going with. You can do a morning gratitude practice of, okay, I'm going to list 3 things that I'm grateful for. And then having that intention throughout the day, maybe like putting it up somewhere that you can look at daily as a reminder of, okay, be grateful for everything you have, and focusing on that, keeping it in the forefront of your brain, like maybe making a screensaver out of it, like you had mentioned, but having a ritual of looking at that, reminding yourself of that, writing down your 3 things you're grateful for.
I have in my office at home, I have a whiteboard, and it's right next to my computer. And I, as you know, like I work for a couple hours in my office every day. And so I've got my whiteboard right there next to my computer, and I have my 2026 goals written out.
Mm-hmm.
But now I can add in quotes persistence in big letters, and so I can see that every single day when I go into my office. And then maybe I could write underneath of that, okay, what are some daily behaviors or tasks that I should do that is going to keep me living up to that word, being persistent, doing the things I need to do every day to get where I want to go or achieve whatever goal I have for next year.
Yes.
Right? So yeah, that's just one tip that I figured I would share. A lot of people, another great one is like write your word down on a sticky note and put it on like the mirror where you brush your teeth every day,
Mm-hmm.
or put it on your nightstand. That way, every morning, every night, you see your word every single night and every single morning. There's many different ways that you can use this tool, but a couple other things. I don't know if you mentioned, like share it with a spouse, coach, or friend. That'll help you just hold yourself more accountable.
Right.
Accountable is a great word, but if you shared it with a friend, you're going to be even more accountable, right?
Yeah.
So let it guide, your training, your nutrition, your recovery, your stress, your mindset, your lifestyle in general, your work. Being a parent, if you're a parent, like let it guide every kind of decision and behavior to improve your quality of life is kind of the goal with this, right?
Yeah.
So if your word is energy, as I mentioned earlier, like staying up late and scrolling might not align with your word. So neither does skipping meals or workouts if your word is energy, because proper nutrition and working out boosts your energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So make sure that you're aligning the behaviors with your word. So your words for 2026. So this is kind of the emotional anchor, right? So why this matters is it builds trust and relatability. Oh wait, this is more of an overview for us.
Yeah.
That's okay. But
as far as for your words for 2026, write them down, like whatever one that stuck out. Either you can replay our list that we said, or just look up a list of, type it in a Safari or something, or ChatGPT if you have it. Then pick from that list, okay, maybe like whatever one stuck out to you, and then decide from there what's going to be the best thing to focus on for you going into 2026. Like what, I'm sure you do have goals that would be more of like the resolution of, okay, I want to lose 10 pounds, or I want to, do a 5K or, something like that. That's more outcome based, but then re-engineer that. And instead of, okay, what do I need to do to get to that? It's who do I need to become to achieve that?
Yes.
Like, what's the person I need to become? And then choose your word based on the person you want to be.
Yeah, I love that because we talk about it a lot. Like, Bethany talks about like soft talk words. It's like, oh, I'm going to try to work out next year, or try to be healthier, or
Don't try, just do.
right. And so one of the best strategies to eliminate like the soft talk and stuff is, let's say, for example, you're trying to quit smoking. If you just tell yourself every day, oh, I'm trying to quit, hopefully I can quit, right? Hopefully try. These are all soft words. You're really convincing yourself that you're not going to be able to do it, or you're giving yourself permission to fail.
Yeah, it just softens whatever you say.
Yeah, and so instead, you could start identifying every day, I'm not a smoker, and when you say that enough, you will actually eventually convince yourself that you're not. Like you will learn and adapt, and you will eventually be able to quit. Or your likelihood will go up drastically.
Yes.
Compared to saying, "Oh, I'm trying to," or like so I just somebody offers one, right? Oh, I'm not a smoker. Like you're already identifying yourself. So same thing with health and fitness. We always say, if you're working out, even if you're not where you want to be yet, maybe you've got 20 or 30 pounds that you want to lose, or you have some strength you want to gain, or you have a certain pant size that you want to get to, or you want to run your first 5K or marathon or whatever it is, like whatever that goal is, even if you're not there yet, but you're doing the actions that are required to become the person to do it or achieve that goal, you can still identify yourself as I'm a healthy, fit person, or I am somebody that works out every day, or I am a fit individual, right? I'm a healthy person. Because when you start identifying as that, your behaviors will just start to align even better and become easier.
I will say it's kind of a hard slope. Like if you are telling yourself, hey, I'm not a smoker, but you're still smoking every day, then you feel like you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
So that can, like, once you start doing the habit of, okay, like, I want to quit smoking, like, that's your thing. So then thinking of just saying, like, I don't smoke. Like, that could mean today.
Yep.
That could mean, 5 years. But if you're actively in somewhere where you're like, you know what, I don't feel like a fit and healthy person. And if you start trying to tell yourself that, like, your brain's going to call out your BS. And it's like, well, you haven't been, consistently doing this. Like, you don't feel fit and healthy. So it's like, okay, what does a fit and healthy person do? And you could say, I'm committed to my health and fitness. Or like, I'm the person that works out 3 days a week. And then you start working out 3 days a week.
Yep.
And so then you're then reinforcing what you're doing.
Yep.
Instead of just trying to like that's how like the positive self-talk just kind of washes over people, because there's no belief behind it. Like, you have to be able to prove to yourself, oh, okay, this is true, what I just told myself. Because if I tell myself I'm a 6 foot person, I mean, maybe I can indoctrinate myself into believing I'm 6 feet, but I know I'm not.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I tell you, oh yeah, I'm 6 foot, and you look at me and you're like, no, you're not.
Yep.
But I'm like, no, I'm 6 foot. Right. So it's like, yeah, it's just making sure that you're saying the right things to yourself that back up who you want to be and what you're doing to be that person.
In other words, don't try to avoid the negative self-talk.
Yeah.
Try to focus on the positives. What you are doing well.
What you're doing well.
What you are focusing on.
Yeah.
Small wins.
Who you want to become.
Yep. So to kind of close this out, we would love to know what your word is. So if you want to comment it, that would be a great part of the accountability. Share your word and why you chose it into the Facebook group, or reply to the YouTube video if you're watching this on YouTube. We would love you to share with us. And if you want help, choosing your word and how you can fit it into your daily life around your fitness and your nutrition and lifestyle, or if you just want help with your health and fitness as we head into the new year in general, and help you hold yourself accountable, then we would love to be able to sit down with you and talk to you about what your goals are and put together a plan that'll help you achieve them. So hopefully this was helpful. I think it was a pretty cool concept. I'm excited to write down my word and start to, put it all over so I can remind myself next year. And I think it'll just keep myself on the mission, right, that we're trying to accomplish. Inside of the gym and outside of the gym, we all have so many different things that we want to do, but we don't always do them. So hopefully this will help us just get a little closer and stay more on track and aligned with what we're trying to accomplish. So until next time, stay healthy, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys' word for the year. See you in the next one.